Wow, wow. Such a wonderful group of friends. I look around this room and I think, as I see each and every one of you, a different story. A story that warms my heart in a way that I will never be able to express to you. Listen, tonight is my 19th time on the ballot in a state that Dave and I love. 18 times I came out on top, but tonight we have a different story. We didn't quite get there. And I want to congratulate Bill Lee on his successful campaign, and Bill is a good man who will make a principled governor, and I know that he will serve well for our great state of Tennessee. And he has my full support. I've not been able to get a hold of him yet. We have tried, we've left a message, but he has my full support. And you know, the future of our state, yes, give him a big round of applause. Congratulate Bill. But the future of our state is more important than a short-term political battle that we fight. And let me tell you something, I have no regrets about this. I love this state, and I believe that I did great things for our state, and I still believe that our family can still be a part of making things better in this state. But you know, sometimes God has a different plan for us. I know that this is a whole room full of people who are faithful people to know that sometimes God just sets a different course for you than what you set for yourself. And those twists and turns sometimes take you in places that you could never imagine. As a matter of fact, as I stand here and think about the places that God has brought me from, many of you know my story that I was born in public housing. We didn't have a whole lot in my family. I grew up in public housing until my dad was able to get a decent job. And my parents, who are 93 years old today, still live in my childhood home. As a young woman and as a single mother, I worked the night shift as a nurse. I'd come home and I would be dead on my feet, but I took care of my 3 little ones. And if you had told me back then that I would have had a chance to be the first Tennessean to chair the House Budget Committee at the federal level and to work with the President and the Vice President of the United States on once-in-a-generation tax reform, I would not have believed you. There's no way I could have imagined that. And if you'd have told me back then that I would write the most important pro-life legislation, as William said, in the history of our beautiful state, I would not have believed that. There's no way I would have believed that. And if you would have told me that I would be standing here, standing next to the best husband that I could imagine, you all know that, don't you? Surrounded by my 3 children and 6 grandchildren, all of my friends and family that are here tonight, people that I didn't know before this race started that I now know as good friends, with hundreds of thousands of people out there across this state that have supported me, I wouldn't believe that either. But you know, sometimes God has a different plan. And I'm blessed in my life that I've worked hard to give back to the state of Tennessee, and that won't end tonight. That does not end just because I was not elected. As long as I have a breath in my body, I will continue to give back to the state that I love. Ronald Reagan said that this country was set aside in an uncommon way, and I believe the same thing of the state of Tennessee. Dave and I are not from the state of Tennessee, but we now have lived here for 36 years, and we feel this is a pretty special place. I believe that Tennessee was set aside in an uncommon way, with uncommon values, values that need to be protected and preserved. Those very values that I've talked about on the campaign trail. And I will continue to protect those values. In Tennessee, and you've heard me say this before, in Tennessee, we know right is right. We know wrong is wrong. We know truth is truth. We know God is God. And we know a life is a life. And I hope that all Republicans in this state and everyone in this room And those that are watching on television right now will join me in fighting for those values, because that is what makes Tennessee so special. Don't you all agree with that one? Now, I want to say a word to Team Black. We are a family. Everyone in this room, every one of you, and as I look around this room, it almost, my heart fills with such joy. It brings tears to my eyes to know the time that we have spent together, the time that you have given to me financially, through phone calls, through traveling with me, through praying with me, through giving me good recommendations. I know that each and every one of you will always be part of Team Black and part of my family. You are why I took this shot. You are why I gave it the fight of all that I had in me, and you are why I feel confident in the future of our state. We have hundreds of young people that have worked for us and volunteered for my campaign. They are the future. If you are a young person who has worked for my campaign, would you please raise your hand and let everyone see you here tonight? Woo-hoo! They are our future. I'm going to tell you what, I feel really good about our future. After working with them, they knocked doors in the snow back in March. They knocked doors in the rain, in the rainy spring that we had. They knocked doors in the heat. They were eating pizza and making calls for me this very day. If you could have seen the frat house that was in the bottom of our headquarters, and look at them, aren't they great? Our state and our country has a bright future because of these young people, and I'm so proud to call them part of Team Black. You will always be a part of Team Black and Team Black's family, as far as I'm concerned. So, I also want to thank others in the room for believing in me through thick and thin, through the calls, through the emails and the text messages I got today. My phone was just blowing up, praying for you. I've been praying for you. I'm praying for your soul. I'm praying for you to be able to eat. I'm praying for you to be able to sleep. And guys, you know what? What really good thing about this is I lost 10 pounds. Look at this skirt. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? So as I said, God sometimes has a different plan for us. We may not understand tonight, but I believe that God has a plan for me, and God has a plan for this great state. Yes, make America great again. My faith is what motivates me every day, and it's what motivated me every day growing up in public housing in Baltimore. It's what drove me when I was a single mother. It is what has driven me through some tough campaigns. You know, the campaign to go here to Congress, I only won by 286 votes. We are battle tested, and we certainly have had the tough campaigns. It is what drives me through the good times. It is what drives me through the bad times. It is what drives me every single day. And sometimes God just has a different plan, and we just have to have faith that that plan that he has for me and my family and all of you wonderful people who have supported me is his perfect plan. So now we have to come together. The future of our state depends on our conservative leadership, and that is something that I will always support. I want to thank you for your prayers. I want to thank you for your votes. I want to thank you for your financial help, because some of you have just really given, whether it was a small amount or a larger amount, you have given until it hurts, and I know you have. And I want to thank God for what he has done for me to be here to where I am today. I want to thank God for my family. I want to thank God for all of my friends out here. And I especially want to thank God for this great state that we live in, and ask that he will continue to bless the great state of Tennessee. Thank you all so much. God bless you.